What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Wombo Combo Show. My name's Ben Kepler.
I'm Ben Yukonis fixing his mic.
All right. Looks like the mic's in a good spot. What's up, y'all? I see you guys joining in chat here. Hope you're having a good day. Hope you're staying warm.
Yeah, it's cold here, man.
Man, we got a space heater behind us today.
It's keeping
lighting our butts. Lighting our butts up as we go along here.
It was like, like when we woke up this morning, it was like negative
my
3 degrees or something like that.
Yeah, dude. When I got off live last night with a few guys who were watching along with me, it was 2 degrees, felt like -8. And I was like, cuz a lot of them are
cold.
A lot of them are down in Texas.
Yeah.
And they're getting snow today down in Houston, Louisiana.
Yeah.
So
dude, the last couple of years for Texas, like in the wintertime, they've been getting some winter weather. Like
this year everybody's getting a little piece of it. Kind of affected the NFL landscape a little bit. I don't know. No more warm weather teams are in the playoffs anymore. They all got eliminated. Last one would have been LA, but there is not a warm weather team remaining.
Yeah, no, there isn't.
You got Philly. That's a cold place. You got Kansas City, which is the coldest probably of places. And then you've got Washington, D.C. And Buffalo. Buffalo. I feel Buffalo's more snow than cold. I feel like it gets colder in the plains, but it's like snowier in Buffalo, in my opinion. That's just when I think of it.
I mean, they're almost in Canada as well, so
close to Canada, yeah, for sure. But the snow is definitely going to be a factor coming up in this week. Let's take a look at those matchups. Just kind of go over them, see what we've seen in those games. If you have any comments on them, Ben, since you weren't with us on the watch party, I know a lot of guys know how I feel about a lot of these things.
I watched a good portion of both. I watched the entire Lions-Commanders game.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Game.
That was a great game, to be honest.
I saw bits and pieces of this. It just wasn't entertaining for me, like, at all.
A lot of them ended.
The beginning was cool though, because the Texans actually came out hot,
looking like
on defense at least.
Absolutely. In this game, there were a few things that I kind of wanted to talk about. First of all, this is the first time.
I know what we got to talk about as well.
Oh, we got some things to talk about.
I think we know. I know what we want to talk about. Okay.
The first thing I want to mention for the Houston Texans is this is the first time in franchise history, and it's the first time in a long time for any team, that they had no turnovers, okay, and they had 100 more yards than the opposing team, and they still lost.
Oh, dude, that was every team that won this week.
Yeah, like, how crazy is that?
Yeah, every team that won had less yards.
Yeah, I did see that little not meme, but whatever, post go across the NFL or whatever, that every losing team had more yards than the winning team. What does that say? You got to take advantage of the plays when you have them.
Yeah,
to be completely honest. But in this game, the things that I want to really nail down the coffin on are this. First of all, great attempt by the Houston Texans. They've never won a Saturday game in the playoffs, and that's the only type of playoff game they've ever played, apparently, Saturday. Oh, they won. Yeah. Was last week a Saturday?
Wild card round, they played on a Saturday.
Oh, okay. Well, excuse me. I was wrong.
When they beat the Chargers.
But anyways,
we watched that game.
Yeah, well, I forgot, dude. I've been doing stuff. Anyways, what I want to talk about for this here, first of all, is play one, which is the Mahomes flop. The Mahomes flop play. Okay, that is really starting to get me towards the NFL is not the NBA. It should not look like that. That should not be allowed. That should have been a penalty for a flagrant flop. That's what that should have been. Yeah. That should have been a personal foul that degrades the integrity of the NFL. Okay, that degrades football. What type of game? Like, have you ever played a backyard football game where somebody did a flop? I've never heard of that in my life.
No,
that's not a thing you do in football. Take a flop to go out of bounds, and then
that's some soft boy shit right there.
That's soft boy shit. That tells me that you don't think you can win this game. So you need to manipulate something to try to get the advantage. And that's exactly what we're starting to see out of Patrick Mahomes. And I'm starting to like him less and less, specifically because of the next play I want to talk about. Okay, this next play, he's out in the shotgun. He's moving around, doesn't have an open wide receiver, happens to have two of his, I think it's his left guard and his left tackle, end up migrating kind of over with him towards the left side of the pocket.
Yeah.
And then he gets past the line of scrimmage. Oh, he can't throw it anymore. So what does he do? He waits until he gets completely surrounded by defenders and then falls on the ground real quick and gets himself a personal foul penalty on the opposing team for a hit to the head. Didn't even hit him in the head. They hit each other.
Yeah.
It is soft football.
Yeah.
It is not what you want to see. It is worse than what you used to see out of the Tom Brady stuff. Like, Tom Brady stuff was bad.
Oh, yeah.
But this is blatant and obvious inside of the football game. Like, we all see it. Again, just to bring it back to the point of this isn't the NBA. You don't do those types of things. Nobody wants that quality of ball.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ben.
So, back in Tom Brady's era, it was a tougher era defensively because people could
100%.
you could still light someone up.
Yeah.
Back then.
Yes.
So, and he was before. What changed was when he tore his ACL in the first week 1 back in like 2000.
The Teddy Bridge or the
like
Matt
10
Castle
or
year.
9 or the Matt Castle year, whatever year that was. Then that's when they started protecting quarterbacks way more.
Yeah, because they lost money because Tom Brady wasn't on the field.
So, I mean, it's ridiculous. And then there was a roughing the passer call on Will Anderson in this game as well. That was atrocious. It wasn't even close, dude. Like, it wasn't even close to roughing the passer.
Not in the slightest.
He had just gotten the ball off. There was no forcible contact to the head.
No.
Maybe incidental contact, but not forcible. He hit him in the chest first.
Yeah,
didn't even knock him to the ground. Mahomes he flopped on that one too. Like, it's
soft football.
it's BS and just. It's not going to. I don't think it's not going to change.
I don't think so.
Unless the NFL does something about these refs, like
there needs to be a complete redesign of how the refs go about a football game. Because I think that what is going on here now, yes, do you want to protect the quarterback who is, the hallmark of each one of these football teams?
Absolutely.
Yes, in some right you do. But do you also want to protect the integrity of NFL? Do you want to keep football? And there is safety, and then there is just shenanigans. And this, my friend, is shenanigans.
Yeah. So
it is.
This is ridiculous.
You don't see it
do
on
what they do for the Pro Bowl, put flags around their waist and play flag football, dude.
No, honestly, you don't. And here's the other thing that I really wanted to highlight on it before we move into any of the other games and get off the topic of hating on Patrick Mahomes. You don't really see it happening anywhere else.
No. He's Mahomes is like really the only one who I've really been seeing get those type of calls.
Yeah. What's up with that?
So and guess what? You won't see it with Josh Allen, and you won't see it with Lamar Jackson.
Hell no.
And you won't see it with Jalen Carter.
No.
And you won't see it with Jaden Daniels.
No.
Because they're all more mobile
guys.
Quarterbacks and they can run the ball. And you won't see these guys get those flags because the refs know that these guys can take off and run.
Mm-hmm. And the funniest part is the play that one play that we highlighted out, the one where he had the guard and the tackle with him and then got the personal foul for the two guys hitting heads, the two Houston Texan players. That's exactly what we're talking about right there.
Yeah.
Like to the keys of keys. Patrick Mahomes can go run down the field. He crosses the line of scrimmage and gets tackled. It's a penalty. Whereas Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen are literally getting sandwiched and destroyed. And that's completely fine because they are a defendable runner at that point in time. But Patrick Mahomes isn't.
Yeah, no.
Not our baby.
Not Mahomes. Never Mahomes.
Anyways, moving on from this game, obviously the Kansas City Chiefs and the refs progressed to the next round. They're in the AFC Championship game. I think it's for the 7th time in a row.
Yes.
I believe that's the number.
7th year in a row they've made the AFC title game.
Craziest stat about that, Patrick Mahomes. How many years has he been the starting quarterback?
All 7.
All 7 of those. So, I mean, he is a great, I'll tell you this, he three-peats regardless of the BS from the refs. He moves up to the second greatest or greatest quarterback of all time.
Yeah, he's starting for that argument for sure. I mean, he already has a start for that argument.
Right. He has a big foundation for it, but it's just going to, kind of put the steeple on top of that.
Yeah, it's just going to bolster it.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it. So we'll see what happens. We obviously have another team, the only team that beat them in the regular season, coming up next.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, other than did the Broncos beat them last week? Yeah, but they played backups. Well, I'm not counting that game with Carson Wentz. So to clarify.
Yeah.
But yes, the Bills. I'm going to jump into that game next. Then we'll cover the NFC. This game was pretty great. It came down to the same play that the Baltimore Ravens have used on every 2-point conversion that you've seen them run in probably the last 6 games. So it's kind of like, bro, we all know what you're doing. Now, in their defense, they should have gotten it.
It was open.
They should have gotten it. Unfortunately for Mark Andrews, who had a great game.
Yeah.
He caught the touchdown, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't he the one who caught the touchdown, or was it
No,
Likely?
it was Isaiah Likely.
It was Likely. I knew it was a tight end. I wasn't sure which one off the top of my head. But yeah, he had a great game regardless. But dude, just kills like a day to forget
a killer
immediately.
Drop. A catch that he'll make, normally 10 out of 10 times. Mm-hmm. He dropped that 11th one.
It's just like it kind of felt to me like he was too sure that he already had it in his hands. It was so cold outside that his body didn't react the same way that he expected it to.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate for him.
And he had that terrible tweet before the game.
Oh, no, I didn't see the tweet.
Oh, the tweet?
It was
just him warming up with just a tank and shorts on and whatnot. And he's like, and the tweet just said, little snow ain't going to bother me none. Or something like that, paraphrasing.
Well, apparently
little snow ain't
it
going to
did.
bother me. But it did in the most critical play of the game.
100%. They were without Zay Flowers in this game, so that was a back set for them. However, Bateman kind of once again filled in the shoes.
Bateman, he's been stepping up without Flowers.
Absolutely.
In the
Absolutely has. He actually had a pretty decent season. Over the last couple, he's been plagued with injuries.
Yes.
But this season, he's been in for most of it, and he has been productive. For a first-round pick, you expect at least some numbers out of him, and he's finally doing it.
Yeah,
because
he's showing
Bateman,
up. Yeah.
When he got drafted first round, it was kind of looking bust pretty quick.
Yeah.
Like real quick.
Yeah.
Ended up with 66 yards and a touchdown. Like he said and corrected me on, Isaiah Likely had that touchdown that almost got them tied up. He had 73 yards on 4 catches. Henry, a good day as well. Some stats over on the Bills side
Henry
of the football.
had an average day.
Oh, what's that?
He had an average day.
I guess so. 5
That's a
yards
good day
carry.
that's a good day for like
anyone else.
For anyone else, but Derrick Henry and like Barkley, that's an average.
True, and to his defense, and it's not much
a below
defense.
average day.
I don't really want to defend Derrick Henry all that much because he doesn't need it most of the time.
No.
But third, fourth quarter, he didn't play very much because they were trailing.
Yeah,
they had
were,
Justice Hill in majority of that time period. So he did have less time on the field than normal. Josh Allen, though, pedestrian numbers, but big win.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
He wasn't really great throwing the ball.
Or running the ball.
the ball.
He ran 10 times for 20 yards, got 2 we'll give it to him. He got 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
These were on short yardage plays, but it was a very, very hard-fought battle. That's basically what you can see from these numbers. If he was able to win the game with 127 yards and 20 yards rushing, and, 16 to 22 is not terrible, but...
He didn't throw an interception.
Yeah, mistake-free football wins football.
He didn't have a fumble, right?
Not to my memory.
Yeah, no. So he didn't turn the ball over at all. He's still clearly the leader of that team.
Absolutely.
So.
Ray Davis got involved a little bit in this football game as well. I think that next year, guys, someone to take a look at for fantasy football in those late rounds, those like round 14, 15, 16.
Yeah.
Ray Davis. Put him on the board. Remember his
He'll be a
name.
nice cuff to have.
He'll be a great cuff to have, I think. Also, gets used. You know what I'm saying?
He
gets used.
Yeah.
So I like him a lot.
They got a nice 1-2 punch.
They do have with him and Cook, and then they even kind of spell in Ty Johnson a little bit in there.
More
every
like
once in
a
while.
pass,
More of a
catching
pass
back
guy. But yeah, I like them both. Ray Davis runs hard. He reminds me of Frank Gore mini. That's because he just runs like a barrel, basically.
Yeah,
that's how I feel about him. On this, we're all hoping that the Bills can pull it together next week.
Yeah,
I hope they can repeat.
Yeah, I hate that it's Bills Chiefs again, but I'd much rather see the Bills move on than the Chiefs.
100%. Only thing that I can say on that as we look forward to that game, let's hope it doesn't come down to overtime and a coin flip. I know they changed the rules, but it doesn't seem to frickin' matter. Anytime Josh Allen has to do a coin flip, Patrick Mahomes ends up getting the win.
I hate the new overtime rule. Just go back to sudden death.
I'm 50-50 on it. If it was my team and they scored a touchdown and I wanted an opportunity, I would want the opportunity.
You know what? You can stop them.
True. True.
You can do it. It's been done.
It has been done, but I still would like a chance. I think it adds to the game. I think it makes it a little bit better because it's playoffs. Your team just can't get eliminated off a touchdown. The whole season's over. You know what I mean?
Hey, should have stopped them.
Let's take a look at this Rams and Philly game. This game, it had its ups and downs. There was points in time that you thought the Rams had no chance. You thought the Eagles had pulled away. The Rams very quickly were able to get down the field, make a stop, and then almost make another attempt to tie up the football game, potentially take the win.
Yep.
Came down to Matt Stafford on I think it was 3rd down and 4. He drops back. He gets sacked by Jalen Carter. That brings up 4th down.
Yep.
He drops back again, tries to look for Puka on a slant to the out, around like the 5-10 yard line. Unfortunately, Matt Stafford overthrew the ball. It goes out of bounds. There wasn't even a chance for a jump ball on it. Rams, your season is over. However, it was a good season. Let's be completely honest.
For the Rams.
For the way that they started to be able to watch extra football here in December and January, you should feel blessed. That's my opinion on that because starting the season, it didn't look too hot. When Cooper Kupp was almost traded away, it really looked like it was rebuilding time. That those rookies on defense really started to make something. Those guys who were filling in for Cooper Kupp and Puka throughout the year who were injured had that chemistry for Matt Stafford late in the season. So you just had a rotating door of players with ability to sync up with him. So I think that the Rams have a bright future. It's quarterback problems for them. Is it going to be Matt Stafford again next year?
Yeah.
Does he retire?
Because, he's thinking retirement.
He's thinking retirement, but he said he's going to wait a little time. He's gonna like sit it out, have some family time, discuss it with everyone.
Let it marinate.
That kind of sounds like retire to me. But going to the playoffs kind of makes you think that maybe he pushes himself back in.
Maybe they get one more chance, which I think they will because
he looks good.
Their defense is young and talented up front. I like what I see there from the Rams. Puka Nacua is one hell of a wide receiver.
He's awesome. He is.
Yeah, he's wide receiver 1 there in my opinion now. Just because he's younger than Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp's still solid.
Yeah.
But he's older. I think he's kind of losing his step.
His contract's up.
And his contract's up. He'll probably stay with the Rams though.
So
he seems like a one hat kind of guy.
He does seem like a one hat kind of guy. I will say though that in his next day interview, so I guess like his Monday interview, his game was on Sunday. Yeah. His Monday interview, he did mention that he's not sure what the future holds for him with the Rams.
Okay.
So they all kind of say that going into the offseason. You don't want to say, I'm going to go back with the Rams. Then no teams call you, and you could potentially get more money somewhere else. Yeah. So
Steelers.
We'll see. We'll see where he ends up. In this game, Kyron Williams had a pretty good game.
Hey, Mike T. If you get Cooper Kupp, I'll be one happy dude. They need one.
They need a couple.
I know they need one.
They need a couple.
Hey, George Pickens there's a good probability he gets traded away this year.
This
offseason.
There's a lot of talk in Pittsburgh media that George Pickens does get taken away, and if so, Cooper is a good bridge wide receiver. We'll call him for the next round of guys coming in.
Draft somebody, bring in Cooper Kupp or Devontae Adams.
Egbuka. Yeah. That's who I want.
Take Egbuka at the 21st pick.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. On the side of the Eagles, Jalen Hurts. Now, I always and will continue to always get flack from Eagles fans, but that guy doesn't look all that great, dude.
Because he's not all that great.
We were kind of talking about it during the national championship game and a little bit on Sunday night. There is no way that talent-wise he is in the same tier as the AFC Superhouse players.
No. When it comes to quarterback, AFC has the upper hand for that.
By like 4 guys.
Yeah.
Like there's 4 dudes who are all clearly better than Jalen Hurts, and that's Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Patrick Mahomes. There is no argument there. Don't try to have an argument with me about it. You're wrong. That's the answer to it.
So
you do have the best running back though in the entire NFL.
Yeah.
Saquon Barkley, dude.
He's him. He's the man.
Did you see? I want to know if you've seen this on this play. The one that it's the touchdown that there was snow on the ground now.
Yeah.
He looks over, knows what the play call is, looks at Jalen Hurts while he's like checking down, looking at the defense, and goes, "Watch this," and then goes off for like a 70-yard touchdown,
I watched
dude.
that play.
That was so. I was literally like, "Bro, that is fire!" And then he's going down the field, slamming himself on the head,
he
hyping
does the
himself
windmill.
up.
But he always does when he scores.
Dog, that is as much as I am not rooting for the Eagles. Saquon Barkley, you're a dog. You're
love
awesome.
Barkley. I love Saquon
Like
Barkley, dude.
that is what it is. We did see our boy AJ Brown reading on the sideline again.
Yeah.
Again, I want a copy of that
Well,
book.
what did he do in this game?
AJ Brown, not that much to be honest. 2 for 14. He kind of got bottled up by that backfield that we didn't think was very good.
And weather conditions.
Weather
in
conditions
Philly
played into
played
it.
a factor.
20 attempts only by Jalen Hurts as
It's
well.
not like they were slinging the ball around. They
No,
were running it with Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, when Saquon Barkley has 205 yards on 26 carries for 8 yards a carry, you don't really need to do much else.
Yeah.
I will tell you this. The strong defense of the Philadelphia Eagles, that's the other thing that they have, right?
Yeah.
They've got Saquon, who's really good. And, I mean, I know the AJ and Hurts are great, but they are not the top tier guys. Saquon and the Philly defense are top of the line.
They
didn't do as good against the Rams as you would expected. You thought
Yeah.
that they would kind of slow them down, maybe. I know you thought the Rams were going to win. I kind of thought, the clothes are done in the dryer.
Nice.
Anyways, I thought that it would be, the Eagles really slowing down Matt Stafford. He was going to be getting very little time to do absolutely anything. That was kind of true, but still, Matt Stafford, great day. More yards than the Eagles have.
The Rams O-line is better than people think.
For sure.
But the Eagles also have the best offensive line in the NFL right
They sure do. And they might have the best interior defensive lineman as well. Because Jalen Carter's pretty dang good.
Yeah, he's up there. He's definitely one of the better in the league.
He's
for
the one who
sure.
blew up that third down play that really – because, like, if you were watching this live, guys, the momentum that the Rams offense had felt like there was like a no chance clause in there for Philadelphia. Like, there is no chance that we are going to be able to stop them. Let's just try to get the ball back with a couple seconds on the clock to kick a field goal.
Yeah.
Like, legitimately. Jalen Carter kind of saved the day for them. They will move forward into the next round. That game is on Sunday, I believe, at 3 o'clock against the Washington Commanders, who we're going to cover next. What an upset game. I'm excited for that. That is the game I'm the most excited for.
Yeah, same.
I am Commanders all the way. Let's open up and take a look at that game a little bit here. Commanders, 45 points.
Yeah.
45 points.
28 in the second quarter.
I'll say this. One thing that did stink was the guy that we were talking about. It was me. I forgot. You were at a birthday party or something.
Yeah.
So as we were talking about Amik Robertson this weekend, I was saying, the cornerback who's going to be on Scary Terry is going to be Amik Robertson. That might affect whether or not Terry gets a lot of yards because Amik has been shutting people down recently.
Mm-hmm.
Like 7th play of the game, maybe even before that, Amik Robertson breaks his arm.
Yeah, I saw that, and that was disgusting.
Yeah, I straight up said, wow, I just announcer jinxed this guy. This is my first ever announcer jinx.
Yeah.
I feel really bad.
That was gruesome because when they went to commercial, they like freeze framed on his arm.
It was like an
and
NL.
it was there for like at least like a couple seconds, and it's like, wow, like his arm is destroyed.
Nasty.
It was I can't.
Nasty. It was a nasty look.
Hurt. It was just as bad as watching like oh man.
Even Deshaun Watson
when he broke his leg.
Okay, yeah,
against
yeah,
Chris
yeah.
Weidman.
That one's even more gruesome. Or, you know what? I think it's funny, not funny for the Lions, but they've had the most gruesome injuries because how about Aiden Hutchinson's leg?
Yeah, the way
bending
he broke
across.
his leg. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. In this game, guys, it was a phenomenal performance by Commanders offense. Just going to run over a couple stats here for you. Jaden Daniels, 299 yards through the air, 51 yards on the ground, 31 passes, 22 completions, 16 carries. The guy is so good at football.
Yep.
He is so good at I don't know if I've seen a rookie come out and be this good immediately since maybe RG3 or Mike Vick.
Was he a top 10 pick still? Or did he fall out of top 10 in the draft for the Commanders when the Commanders took him? Was it
Jaden Daniels?
Yes.
He was the number 2 overall pick.
He was a number 2 overall pick.
He was the number 2 overall pick.
I thought he fell for some reason.
No,
I'm thinking of somebody else. Anyways, it's always the second quarterback.
Who's better?
Who's better than
a la
the
C.J.
number 1
Stroud.
pick. Yeah. Except for, well, did Eli Manning go number? Or not Eli, Peyton Manning.
Peyton went number 1 overall.
He went number. Okay, so that was the only case where the number 1 overall pick was better than the second quarterback drafted, because
In
Ryan
recent
Leaf
years.
was the second quarterback drafted in that year's draft, and he was awful.
I wonder who was drafted after Jamarcus Russell. Chat, pop in for us if you know who was drafted before or after Jamarcus Russell, because I think he was a number 1 pick as well.
He was a number overall pick. Because he
Take
could throw a ball like 80
2
yards
million yards
from
yeah.
his knees.
but also
Like-
could eat 70 hot dogs.
Never
before
watched
a game. Yeah, never watched film. A guy who did well in this game, who has been having a lot of slow games as of recent, basically since about week 5-6, has been one of the not so trustable running backs in the NFL. Brian Robinson Jr., 15 carries, 77 yards, averaging 5 a carry, 2 touchdowns. That's a great game.
Yeah.
Another thing I wanted to mention, and this is against one of my favorite players, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Yeah, there's a guy who got drafted before me on the other side. I think his name's De'Ami Brown. I'll be watching for him. Well, I hope you did, because he had
showed up.
6 catches for 98 yards, and last week he was amazing as well. Again, another late season blooming wide receiver who's just coming through.
I think he's in his 3rd year now.
He is in his 3rd year. I had mentioned this before, but for any of you Madden nerds out there, if you need a cheap wide receiver for your slot
'Cause
who's
he's
amazing,
fast.
De'Ami Brown is so good. He's so good. You could trade a 7th-round pick for him and get him immediately. Scary Terry had an awesome play in this game. He had a touchdown on it. 87 yards for him on 4 catches. The other touchdown catch was Zach Ertz. Old reliable is what I was calling him throughout
yeah.
the old game, the whole game. And he was. It was like anytime the pass was to him, it was a crucial either second down and long, we need to get it short so we can go for it and get something on 3rd down.
Yeah.
Or it is 3rd down and like 6, and we need this right now.
Yeah.
So Zach
Mr.
Ertz,
Dependable.
Yeah,
I got the
exactly.
answer
Mr.
to your
Dependable.
question here, I think.
Oh, yeah?
It was Megatron.
Megatron. Okay, yeah. Okay. For the Jamarcus Russell class. Okay.
What about the quarterback? Who was the next quarterback taken after?
Yeah, Red, if
Jamarcus
you have that
Russell?
list up, let us know who's the quarterback. Jen, what's up, homie? Long time no see.
It was actually
Parr says
Derpy
it was
over on
Calvin
YouTube
Austin.
who
though.
got us the answer, by the way.
Brady
Shout out
Quinn.
Oh, Brady Quinn was drafted after Jamarcus Russell, the next quarterback.
Brady Quinn isn't exactly terrible. I wouldn't
But
say
he wasn't
great.
good. I mean, he's still bust category.
He
Like,
was 3rd, 4th tier kind of style guy.
He was-
Derpy
he
says
was
it's
still a
Calvin
bust.
Austin. Derpy, glad to see you over on the Red app chat because of where we're live. We can't say the name of that, but that's okay. We're happy you're here, Derpy. Derpy is a Steeler fan, so we finally have
Yeah.
some Steeler fans joining us for once. Rocking my Pulamalu
what do you
jersey
think about
today.
Tomlin? Derpy.
Yeah, Derp, let us know what you think about
Derp.
Tomlin. Red
What
says,
do you think about Tomlin? Should he stay or should he go?
should he stay or should he go? Oh, no.
I mean, he's not going to go, but
I don't think he's going to go until he
he's
wants
not,
to retire.
because He's not going to go. Yeah.
Red says the 2007 draft class was poo-poo kachoo, and I kind of agree with them.
Yeah.
Let's finish up on the last game or last bit of NFL talk here, and then we're gonna hop in the chat with you guys. Just kind of want to cover Ben with you for these 2 games on Sunday. Reminder to everyone who's watching across all platforms: we're gonna be live for this for the entirety of it. So
Yes, sir.
we'll be live around 2:45. We'll jump in a couple minutes early so that we can talk betting strategies for this game with everybody, see where everybody's at. We'll have our own parlay ready for you if you want to follow along with us. I had a bet with LG Jordan. Dude, if the Commanders wouldn't have missed one of those 2 field goals in the game,
Yeah.
I would have made $190, and he would have also cashed out.
Damn.
A missed field goal missed us out on some money. So we're coming back at it this week.
I actually had an 8-leg parlay
Of course you did.
for the Commanders Lions game.
And
I
it
missed
hit?
by 2.
Well,
2
you
legs.
should have done 6
I
instead
know,
of 8.
I know.
In this game, Ben, where do you see advantages, disadvantages? These 2 teams have already played each other twice this season. Obviously, I'm talking the NFC East NFC Championship game. Personally, I am rooting for the Commanders. We know that. Where do you see differences in the 2 teams that have become holes for either one of them?
Oh, man. It's for me, it's the Commanders' defense. Can they slow down Saquon Barkley?
They did.
That's the biggest question.
They did an okay job with Gibbs. Not an amazing one, but
Yeah.
enough. They outscored Gibbs enough, basically, is what they did.
Yeah.
It wasn't really about stopping him. It was about scoring more points than he could.
Yeah.
You know
well,
what I
I
mean?
think that's kind of attributed to the Lions being banged up on defense. I mean, they did have Anzalone back.
They
and
got a couple guys back,
but
yeah.
they don't have their best pass rusher. Didn't have him all year. What was the name again? The corner,
Oh, Amik Robertson was
Amik Robertson.
the one who's
He's
injured.
like their better cornerback, right?
He is. He's
I don't really know much about.
he's
their
their
secondary.
tight man guy who's going to, if you want to lock somebody down, that's who they're going to send.
Yeah. So and then they lose him in the middle of the game.
Mm-hmm.
So they were banged up. The Eagles, however, are not banged up on defense. Zach Baum, the linebacker, having a defensive
Axeman.
player of the year type
He's very good.
season.
Very good. After being a
Very
special teams
good.
guy.
Yeah, their rookies on the back end with Mitchell and
Guantanamo Bay.
the white guy,
Oh, you're
the other white guy, not blanking ship.
Cooper DeJean.
Cooper DeJean.
Yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't think of his name.
No, they're
whatever
both.
it is.
They are
They're
both
all
great.
Their secondary is very good. Up front, they're very good as
Yeah.
well. With Sweat and my goodness, why am I having these brain
They
farts
have
today?
Sweat. They have Jalen Carter.
Jalen Carter,
they have
and then-
Bryce Huff from
Yeah.
the Jets, who they brought over this
Yep,
season.
yep.
So they have a lot of names there. Brandon Graham's obviously out for the season with that torn pectoral.
Yeah.
So he is out. But
I mean, he's a vocal leader in that.
he is.
in
He
that
is.
locker
He's still
room,
on the
too.
sideline doing that, regardless of not
yeah.
being in the football game. So you're saying that you think that the thing that is going to be the defining factor in this football game is most likely going to be the Commanders' defense, and if they can stop Saquon specifically.
Yes.
Yeah. I can kind of agree with you on that. Now, in the last game, very close. This is the one that Jaden Daniels led the last second drive down the field, 2 seconds on the clock, hits him for the touchdown to Crowder.
Yep.
I kind of feel that is how this game might go again.
I agree.
I kind of feel like it's either going to be something like that, or let me tell you, in my head, for some reason, I'm thinking that the winning team will be 38-28. I don't know why, but
Yeah.
I've been thinking that 38-28
So-
might be the score at the end.
Yeah, no, as long as the Commanders, if they can keep Barkley in check, I think they'll be in this game for sure.
Yeah, I
So-
think that because of what we just looked at stat-wise for Jalen Hurts, obviously because Saquon was doing so well, Jalen Hurts did not have to try as hard, therefore didn't make any mistakes.
Yep.
Also, kind of rusty. Yeah, I mean, it's cold out too when you're playing cold football and you haven't played in a while. It's not the easiest to get moving and be as good as you can be. Not an excuse, in my opinion, when you're paid millions of dollars. But I think this. I think if the Commanders' defense, this is big if Commanders' defense can slow down Saquon enough, okay? And that means keeping him under 150 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, enough. If they can do that, I think that Jaden Daniels can produce enough points on the opposite side of the field for them to win this football game, because Jalen Hurts will not be able to throw them into a win.
I agree.
If they are playing from behind, Jalen Hurts will not be able to throw them into a win. That is my opinion on that.
No. For the Eagles, I think for the Eagles to get this one, they need to start hot and then stay hot in the first half.
Keep it going, yeah.
Like
The
if they're gonna
exploitation
do it,
has to stay.
If they're
keep
going to
going.
do it, they start with Barkley, and if he takes off, for a big run for a touchdown
32
early,
carries.
that's demoralizing.
Yeah,
for one.
if he burns them early, yeah, for sure. I mean, it did it to the Rams for a
Yeah.
minute there. Absolutely.
So and he can do it late too. He doesn't have to. They don't even have to start off hot. He can do it late. Just take over a game.
Yep,
So,
it's a dagger to the ribs, and as soon as he takes off for a 60-yard touchdown, you're completely like, God. We did 16 plays, 11 minutes to get down the field, and this guy just did one play and got the whole way down for a touchdown and completely negated everything we did. Yeah. So yeah, that's where I'm at on this game. I'm taking the Commanders. I don't care that they are the underdogs. I'm taking the number 7 seed to have the historic first rookie to go to the Super Bowl season. I'm taking the Commanders.
I'm also gonna take the Commanders in this one.
It's because you don't like the Eagles.
It's not because I don't like the Eagles.
Okay.
It's just underdog. There's the
Okay.
7th seed.
Yeah, 7 seed story is the best.
they can join the the Steelers and even like the Giants for being the last seed. Oh, they weren't the last seed. They were the 5th seed or something like that. I don't remember. But like
Being the late seed
being one of the later seeds to get to the Super Bowl is not. It just doesn't happen all the time.
100%. The next game that we're going to talk about here, the only other one, obviously. I don't think that any. So if you had a map of the world, the entire map of the world outside of Missouri would probably be blue for the Bills. And then Missouri would be red for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
Because I don't know anyone outside of
No.
Kansas City, or if you're like some bandwagon fan
Yeah.
that is rooting for the Chiefs to do anything. I am big hope, Josh Allen. I think that this game is high scoring. I think this game is one of those, like, it may be boring for those type of people who don't like to watch a game be a blowout to start and then be a comeback. You know what I mean? I think that could be something. I think that maybe the Bills get an early big lead and Patrick Mahomes chips away towards the end. We start to get some floppy penalties that gets him in position to potentially take the win.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel this goes. Obviously, I'm going to take the Bills. I'm going to take the score to be 31-23, I think, so an over 50 for that one. I think the Commanders and Eagles could be an over 55 game, not even going to lie there. I like Josh Allen's legs in this football game, and then I also like the Buffalo Bills' ability to rush the passer and make it a problem for Patrick Mahomes. That was their key to success in their victory last time.
Yes.
So that's what I'm thinking it has to be. And before I let you go there, James Cook. I think it has to be a big James Cook involvement.
Yep.
He has to make yards out of what he's given.
Yep.
He has to.
Big time.
What do you got on this?
I'm hoping the Bills absolutely curb stomp the Chiefs.
Just ruin them.
Just ruin them. Like just. Oh man, so many
Demoralize them
analogies
completely.
I want to say, but I can't say.
Yeah, you got to keep yourself filtered, brother. I mean, it's in Kansas City, so if the Bills are to beat the Chiefs, not only is it going to kill the team's morale,
Yeah.
and they're probably going to do a little bit of getting rid of a guy or two to rebuild for next season.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're going to rebuild.
No, they don't really need to.
But the Chiefs fans will all have to walk out of their losers, and it's been a while
yeah.
since they've walked out of their losers. And
Yeah.
Sorry, Chiefs fans. I want you to.
I don't even care about the. It's not about the fans. It's just I don't want to see the team win at all.
Oh, yeah, well,
So-
yeah.
Which Buffalo is capable of curb stomping them.
They are, but also
They're capable of it.
the Chiefs are capable of manipulating the gameplay of this game, keeping Josh Allen off the field.
Yeah.
And from there it'll become a big problem because let's talk about this. Patrick Mahomes has the best set of wide receivers that he's had all season right now.
Yes, he does.
He has everybody.
Yes, he does.
He has DeAndre Hopkins. He has
minus Rice, Rashid Rice.
Oh, Rashid Rice. Yeah, well, I guess. Yeah. He has everybody outside of Rice, but he's been IR for a while. I mean,
he's not
everybody that
coming
he
back,
could have
but-
back. Everybody that he could have back.
I think Rice is probably their best receiver.
Oh, he definitely is. I mean, you have DeAndre Hopkins, so like over career, DeAndre's
Well, yeah, he's
more
got the career,
prestigious
but I
one.
mean, he's out of his prime.
Hollywood Brown's really been used in that offense a lot recently.
Yeah,
they
they like Hollywood Brown.
I think that it's scary that you have not only Worthy but Brown on the opposite side. So if you
Yeah.
only have one speedster cover corner, you're screwed. You're absolutely
Because
screwed.
both of those guys can fly.
And the RPO game has gotten a lot more dangerous when you have those two players out there.
Yeah.
You have Travis Kelce, who is great at doing the pitch block, where he just chips and then is immediately open. I think it's crazy still, as you watch every single Chiefs game, somehow Travis Kelce is open in the middle of the field every play.
Yeah.
It's just like, dude, what the heck? How did you?
Yeah. I don't know.
But yeah, in this one, Ben, like I said, I think it's the Bills. Are you taking the Bills as well?
I'm taking the Bills. I don't actually think they're going to curb stomp them. I wish they would or
think it's
will.
gonna be close?
I hope they do, but I think it's going to be close, and I think the Bills will get the better of the Chiefs this year.
I think so too. I think so too, and that is more just hopeful thinking than actual. How about this?
Yeah,
that is complete bias.
Yeah, this is bias because normally what I normally would do is I can't pick against the Chiefs. But I'm picking against the Chiefs this week.
I'm done with it.
Maybe because I don't want to see them get to the Super Bowl.
One of our always in our chat followers, Bruce. We apologize, man. He's our residential Chiefs fan. Bruce, We can't have it, brother. We just can't have it. Ben, I did want to kind of look at the national championship game with you here just for a minute, more or less because it's fresh in our minds, and there are going to be some guys in that football game who we will see in NFL uniforms next year.
100%.
So in this game, obviously, for 90% of it, it wasn't close at all. Not in the slightest.
Yeah, it wasn't looking too great.
It was 21-0 going into halftime, and it didn't look like the Notre Dame offense was going.
21-7.
Or what did I say?
21-0.
Oh yeah, 21-7. Sorry,
Notre Dame scored first.
they were the first. They scored on their first drive or second drive. Did they
First
not?
drive, the opening drive. They scored.
It
on
was the opening drive.
Yep.
Dope. Anyways, I wanted to talk about a couple players out of this game. A couple guys that I think who are going to be impact players throughout the NFL moving forward. Obviously, I wish that Jeremiah Smith was eligible for the draft because, God, he is crazy.
He's good,
dude.
He's good.
He's crazy.
He's
good.
just that Ohio State tradition of having awesome wide receivers.
100% through the years. They basically are wide receiver U, in my opinion, followed by Alabama. Those are the two schools.
LSU.
Okay, I'm totally wrong. It is LSU. But, I mean, LSU only has...
I think it's Ohio State, LSU, Alabama.
I'll tell you this.
In that order.
LSU doesn't have the back in history, guys, whereas Ohio State does.
That's why they're number one.
Right, exactly. A couple guys, though, that I think that are the major names to talk about in this out of Ohio State when we're looking at the draft. Travion Henderson. You got Quinshon Judkins.
Yes.
You also have the quarterback, Will Howard, who I think is kind of like a day 3 pick.
Yeah, he's a late day 2, day 3.
Maybe
pick.
late day 2.
He's a developmental quarterback. He's gonna need developed.
Remind me, is it first round at day 1, and then is day 2 just 2 and 3, or is it 2, 3, and 4?
So day 2 is just rounds 2 and 3.
That's what I thought. So
and then day 3 is 3 or 4 or 5.
Yeah, so I think he goes 5th round, maybe late 4th. So I think he is a day 3 regardless.
Okay.
He's pretty good. Don't get me wrong. I could see Will Howard or Riley Leonard on the opposite side of the football there. I could see them being guys who you see them in preseason and you go, wow, that's pretty impressive against these backups. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Then whoever their starting quarterback is gets injured for like a week or two. They pop in, play above average, and then they sit in the background on the bench as the whole season as their fans go, well, what about this guy? You should put this guy in. Put him in. So
maybe.
I kind of feel like that could be Will Howard and Riley Leonard's future. That's just how I kind of see them. I don't see them as immediate plug-and-play starters, obviously. You got guys like Jalen Milroe. You've got Shadur Sanders, Cam Ward in this draft. So guys like Will Howard and Riley Leonard, even though they're the national championship quarterbacks, they are not going to be found in the first couple rounds of the draft, I believe.
Yeah, no, they're not. They're not rated very high with the experts.
No,
the
not at
draft
all.
analysis experts and everything like that.
If there is somebody on the team, though, that I think is a first-round pick, and that is a 100% first-round pick, I think it's got to be Emeka Egbuka.
For sure.
He's so good.
Yeah.
I've seen him. We were actually kind of talking about this before we went live. I've seen him being drafted in mocks to the Steelers.
Yep.
And I love that idea.
Me
I
too.
absolutely love that idea. I think it's great. I think the Steelers need to add one, kind of like a Cooper Kupp or the guy we were just talking about, DeAndre Hopkins, level veteran.
Yes.
Okay, we can't have Van Jeffersons.
No.
That's not a veteran presence.
He ain't it.
No. If you imagine if DeAndre Hopkins was on our sideline, how much of a good talk he would have had with George Pickens and how different he would be.
Yeah.
He needs a leader in the locker room because he is not a leader in that locker room.
So, but I mean, George Pickens might not be here next season.
True. We're gonna see. Quinyon, both of the running backs for Ohio State, I kind of see those guys as maybe third rounders, but late, but definitely fourth and fifth rounders. Henderson,
Judkins can go second round.
You think Judkins is that good?
I think he's that good.
I just don't think he has any pass game
But
ability.
he'll probably – so the only running back in this draft who's probably going to go in the first round is Genty.
Yeah, Genty,
Boise State.
100%. I
So
think
he's probably going to be the only one going in the first round. I could see Judkins going as high as in the second round.
okay.
So-
and Henderson going as late as 5.
I can see same with Henderson could be like a third, fourth round pick.
Okay. Okay. I do think that either one of those guys would complement our guy Jaylen Warren, who I think the Steelers are going to be bringing back pretty well.
Absolutely.
I think they would be a good mix. What I've been looking at, and just another college player to take a look at who's out there. Omarion Hampton out of North Carolina also looks great. I think he would be a nice addition for the Pittsburgh Steelers to go along with Jaylen Warren. And then finally, Ollie Gordon. You got to check out Ollie Gordon.
Okay.
This guy is dope. I think it's Oklahoma State or Oregon State. They have the same exact colors. They're black and orange. So I get confused. It's either Oregon or Oklahoma State that he plays for. But he is very good. And I mean very, very good. And not getting a lot of talk behind him. So I want to see the Pittsburgh Steelers actually take him in the second round.
Really?
I'd like to see that. I would love to see that.
I think they could still wait. I think they have higher priorities than a running back for the second round.
For sure.
Because, I mean, guys like Bo Scadaboo or even Henderson or maybe even Judkins could be available in like the third round.
True. Let me ask you this. Do you think that Scadaboo is a higher commodity than both of these guys?
See, I can't give like a definitive answer for that because I really didn't watch too much college football this year. So, like, I mean, I watched some, but like not enough to be like, oh yeah, this guy is definitely way better than this guy, or like he would fit this team better or whatnot.
I feel you.
I mean, I feel like they're both pro ready.
Yeah,
obviously.
I think that there is going to be in this draft class. There is going to be what we're going to see is a lot of good running backs come out of this one. I think this is going to be a running back class.
Oh yeah,
as much
there's
as
a lot of good. There's a lot of good running backs.
There's a lot of depth at running back, and I think that the reason why we're going to see that is because regardless of the ones who flake off, the ones who move forward are going to be extremely good. I think we got like 3 Bucky Irvings sitting in this draft.
Yeah,
I'm not even lying. I think there's 3 Bucky Irvings sitting out here.
Mid to late round picks showing up.
Somebody between 2 and 5.
So
a couple of them. They're going to be really good.
Yeah.
Other things I wanted to cover with you, Ben. We've had some coach movement across the league. It's starting the carousel is starting to turn a little bit.
Yes, it is.
So first one I wanted to cover isn't the biggest news, but it's one of the latest news is that the Vikings have locked down O'Connell. He's going to be staying.
I did see that.
There was a lot of rumors that they might consider trading him. I don't know why the whole coach trade thing comes up every offseason. That's so dumb.
Well, I mean, you can trade coaches.
You can.
It's been done.
You know who one of the last coaches to be traded is? He's not in the league anymore.
Yeah.
And he won a Super Bowl against the team that they traded him away from the very next year.
John Gruden.
It is John Gruden. That is the answer. Good
So
job.
Sean
Mark
Payton,
Revere.
didn't the Broncos get him?
Oh, yeah. Sean Payton. I guess he technically got traded.
Yeah,
he got traded too.
traded.
Yeah, you're right. He did. I forgot about him, but
Didn't the other guy, Ron Rivera, didn't he get traded?
if he did, it was for like a 5th round pick, though.
Yeah. It
wasn't for
because
anything.
he went to Washington after
the Carolina Panthers. But the most notorious one is Gruden.
Yeah,
because
for
he
sure.
literally beat the Raiders in the Super Bowl with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers the following year, which
Absolutely.
is super cool.
Oh, Bill Belichick got traded
From the Browns to the Patriots.
I think it was from the Browns to the Jets.
Yeah.
Or from the
Oh, okay.
from the Jets. Yeah. I think it was the Browns to Jets.
Okay. Another big ad. So we've seen that the Patriots have gotten their head coach, right? They're going with Vrabel. Do you know who they just signed today?
Mike McDaniels.
They brought back a familiar face in the offensive coordinator.
Did someone have it in the chat?
Yeah, we had it up earlier as a comment in one of our posts. Yes. So the squad is all getting back together.
Yep. Getting the gang back together.
Wouldn't be surprised if we see Wes Welker signed as the wide receiver coach in the next week. Also wouldn't be surprised if they reach out to Flores and see if he wants his job back. Not playing around. Like, I literally think that they could like get the boys back in town. Like, I really feel that way.
Oh my goodness.
Other news, this is the bigger news of the day. Bear down because Ben Johnson is going to Chi-Town. So far, he's starting to accumulate his team. Now, obviously, kind of what I was talking about on Saturday with a couple Bears fans, with a couple NFL people in general, is that when Ben Johnson, wherever he would have went, whether that's the Raiders, the Bears, whichever team, he was going to walk in there and need to bring along somebody who was a head coach before, who was a defensive coordinator.
Yeah, agreed.
And that is what he's looking to do. It looks like Dennis Allen from the Saints, the one who was fired halfway through the season this year.
Yeah.
It looks like he is going to be the guy who will be getting the job. Now, they haven't made that official yet.
That's not terrible.
Yeah, they're still looking around, but per the moment, he is a leading candidate. We'll see how that moves forward. Probably in the next day or two, we'll get some real defined answers because these teams are looking at the draft coming up here in free agency, so they're trying to get their staff together now.
Yeah, I was going to say Robert Saleh's out there too for him, but I think he's trying. He wants a head coach.
He wants a head coaching job. That's another one I was going to talk about. So with the hiring of Ben Johnson, that affects a lot of people, guys. That there's a, like we said, a carousel. There's a whole pool of guys out here. You got McCarthy. That's who got affected the most. Because everyone thought McCarthy was going to be headed to the Bears if Ben Johnson didn't. There was a bidding war between the Bears and the Raiders for Ben Johnson. Ben decided to go to the Bears.
Yeah.
Probably a better organization.
I agree.
Better owner.
I agree.
You know, you had let me know, I didn't actually know this, the Bears, before signing Ben Johnson, offered a trade to the Steelers for Mike Tomlin.
Yep, and the Steelers didn't even pick up the phone.
I like it. I like it a lot. I know that you don't necessarily like it the most.
I would at least listen.
But I do. Derpy, let me know. Let me know what you think as our Steeler fan in chat here today. Do you think we should have or should not have listened to the trade for Mike Tomlin? Other guys who are out there, like I said, Mike McCarthy's kind of floating around. There's the Raiders job. There's the Jaguars job. The Jaguars have interviewed everybody. I have an interview on Thursday for the head coaching job there. I'm not going to take it. I'm staying with the Wombo Combo show. My deal breaker is they trade Trevor Lawrence. They said no, but we'll still go in for the interview. I think that's Robert Saleh's job. I've mentioned that to you before. I just kind of think that he fills in there perfectly.
I couldn't remember where I heard he was rumored to.
I just kind of feel like that is the best place for Robert Saleh. They have the defense already. All he has to do is bring in an offensive coordinator who's really good and kind of work with him. And I think that they can have the Jags back up and running in no time for a season and a half. And then they'll go back to where they're at right now. Because that's what the Jaguars do. They get good for a minute, and then they get terrible immediately afterwards again.
So Derpy mentioned Marcus Freeman as the option he thought we should maybe go out and look at.
Marcus Freeman. Okay, in the draft. Okay. I'll have to take a look at who that is.
I think he was talking coach because that was in reference to the Steelers thing.
The Red app.
Marcus Freeman. I'm assuming, is he the Notre Dame head coach? Because that name doesn't ring a bell to me unless that's who that is.
Yeah, I'm unfamiliar personally, so not much.
Yeah,
me too.
But yeah, just in general, it's been a carousel at the coaching position. Obviously, Raiders
it's every year though.
Raiders are going to fill in soon. There is the Jets as well. The Jets look like they're going to go after Aaron Glenn from the Lions as they kind of. The Lions coaching staff kind of falls apart there.
He's the coordinator?
He's the defensive coordinator. They have an interview with him later this week. He's the lead candidate there. Kind of makes sense. Jets have a defense, bring in an offensive coordinator maybe. And same deal as Robert Saleh, basically.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that all works out. Cliff Kingsbury might be available. Obviously, he's not taking calls right now because he's still in the playoffs. There's a lot of guys, a lot of big names that could be moving around before this next season starts. Arthur Smith, our offensive coordinator, is also one of them.
He's been taking head coaching interviews.
Yep. He went up to the Jets already and took an interview there. Don't really care whether he is or is not a part of the Steelers moving forward. He's not somebody that I am.
I don't see him leaving, though. I don't see him getting an actual, having a real chance.
No, I could see him getting I could see him getting a college job, but I couldn't see him getting an NFL job. And he's obviously not going to get a better team to go to than the Steelers for the offensive coordinator position, given the style of offense that he schemes up.
Yes.
So that's kind of how I feel on that. What's that?
Maybe the Jets. No, because he interviewed for the head coaching job for the Jets. I don't know. We'll probably stuck with Arthur Smith again.
We're probably stuck with him. Yeah. Did you have anything else that you wanted to cover for today's episode? Anything else that flashed through this week? Any breaking news? Anything else that you wanted to mention?
Was there anything more breaking news? Anything I didn't
Not off the top of my head that I can think about. Guys, I do want to remind you.
Yeah, no. I don't.
The schedule for this week is going to be a little bit different.
Yeah.
Obviously, we've been going live on Saturdays with you to do watch parties. That's normally our Saturday podcast time. What we're going to have for you this week, I kind of mentioned it a little bit ago. We are going to be live all Sunday, all football time.
Yes, sir.
We will be there. We're going to be live on all platforms. Make sure you're tuned in for that. Make sure if you haven't already, slap that follow and subscribe button so that you get the notification when we are live. You guys know if you're a regular fan of ours, I do pop in and just kind of hang out with you guys at random points in time. Paul has been jumping in the live, and he's been playing a little video games with people as well.
Nice.
So
nice.
Make sure you're following. Make sure you subscribe. You'll get that notification so that anytime we're online, you can come in and hang out with us. I want to thank you guys for tuning into the show today. We're going to have a live Q&A coming up here in just a couple seconds. If you have any questions, anything you want to talk about, or just want to voice your opinion, that's your time to do so. We hope you do. We'll see you in a couple minutes. But at that, we will see you on the next one, guys. Peace out.